What up, y'all? Every time I go to scroll through my YouTube for the past week, I keep seeing this thumbnail pop up, so thought I might as well watch it. It's from Tommy G, and I guess we're gonna check it out real quick.
Can anyone get high off secondhand on this?
I would say so.
Would this be enough to kill me? Alright folks, today we're exploring Meth Mountain, and behind me is a meth lab that blew up.
They out there hitting that glass in the middle of Shrek Swamp. Hopefully this music's copyright free.
And then they put a gun to his back and said, let's go.
Oh god.
When you dive into rural communities around America, you come to discover that meth is remarkably easy to find. For the last few decades, American communities have been flooded with amphetamines. Let me take you up to speed on how this came to be. Meth was...
He ain't lying either. I grew up in a place called Hickman County, and I swear to God, every other house was like a lab, like straight up. The amount of trailers I've seen blown up as a kid is ridiculous. Like those small towns, ain't nothing else to do down there, so everybody's just twacked out all the time. I mean, you can just take the name and just listen to it and figure it out for yourself. It's literally Hickman County. Hickman. It's like, what else do you think is going to go on down there?
Communities have been flooded with amphetamines. Let me take you up to speed on how this came to be. Meth was first synthesized in 1893 by a Japanese chemist. Over time, it became prescribed by doctors to help with things like weight loss, narcolepsy, and asthma. Due to its ability to keep soldiers awake and wired, it was the drug of choice for World War II combatants like Japanese kamikaze pilots and German blitzkrieg troops.
I remember learning that back in school. I forgot who it was, but one of my teachers said that Hitler was like literally up there tweaking his mind off, melting his brain up there half the time. And I guess like whenever you look back at the footage, like you can tell he's up there like tweaking.
For the years leading up to the 1980s, the flow of amphetamines was in large part controlled by motorcycle gangs like the Hells Angels. However, in the 1990s, Big Pharma took over as the leading supplier when they created drugs like Adderall and Ritalin. These drugs are chemically similar to meth, and they are prescribed by doctors to millions of American youth to combat things like ADHD. So much.
I remember when I was a kid, because I have ADHD, and when I was a kid, they wanted to put me on Adderall. I remember I took it one time, and dude, I thought I was gonna die. That shit did not work for me. I don't know what happened, but it just made my heart feel like it was pounding out of my chest. So ain't no way in hell I could ever hit any meth. I'd be dead like the first hit.
So that a 2016 article by the New York Times referred to millennials as Generation Adderall. This trend made Big Pharma billions of dollars. For today's story, we go explore Meth Mountain, a place in Alabama that earned its name due to the amount of meth labs and meth users.
The amount of homies I had growing up in school that were like literally fried off of Adderall and like Vyvanse and all that stuff is insane. It's like I get some people need medication, but not every kid needs to be on that. You know what I mean?
All of what you are about to see are for educational purposes only.
We're here in Gadson, Alabama, and we're waiting for our local contact,
That's
Lauren.
Where you can
I just have a
find it,
feeling
sure.
she's pulling up in a pickup truck.
Alabama
What is this place
filled up.
known for?
Just a regular neighborhood.
When I first talked to you, you thought I was going to be asking you for money. Are there a lot of sketchy people asking you for money these days?
Yeah.
Has that increased a lot in the last few years?
Yeah.
Do you feel like the Biden administration is watching out for the people of Gadson? Do you feel represented?
Yes.
If Trump came back into office, how would you feel about that?
Tell the truth, I feel bad.
Why is that?
He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do.
He ain't lying though. None of these people do anything they say they're gonna do. And that's a fact for either side. Two wings on the same bird, boss.
Where the heck are we right now?
Atala.
Atala?
We're at Atala here, Gadson over there.
Were we just in kind of a sketchy area?
Very sketchy. That's why I didn't even think about that Walmart, because I don't ever go to that Walmart.
She said, I ain't going there. You got me messed up. I ain't pulling up there. I already know how it goes over there. I don't blame her though. I wouldn't really expect no single lady going out by herself in a sketchy part of town like that. People are ruthless out here.
And what percent of locals do you think know it as Meth Mountain?
Everybody.
So from what I understand, you have to be pretty smart to figure out how to make it. Like it's not an easy thing to make.
I've never tried to make it, but I know people who have made it. I mean, it's chemistry and a lot of math and a lot of knowing what mixes together and what doesn't.
Because if it goes wrong, things can go kaboom.
Talking about blowed up, boss.
Group of people rushing to get back. They believe people were cooking meth at the house. Something got out of hand, sparking flames, which then ignited several propane tanks, causing the Big Bang.
Yeah, when I was younger, the amount of trailers I seen just completely demolished and crispy is insane. I swear it's so common down there, you don't even look twice. You're just like, yep, normal day.
Quickly.
And are there places around here that have blown up from a meth lab gone wrong?
Oh yeah, we've had the fire department has had to respond to several. They will be busting a lab when the people run. Everything kind of turns, knocks over, things mix, causes it to blow up, and then
yeah, it's just like a big old domino effect. You have like one bottle explode, it busts and hit a little container over there, that busts and everything's gone. It's just like a big chain reaction, and then before you know it, the whole house is just obliterated. And the funny thing about it is I've seen like people like not even the next day, like it's still smoking out there, and you see people out there scoping out trying to scrap the place for copper. It's like people in the country are super ruthless when it comes to that type of stuff. They're like, damn, Bubba, your lab blew up. Well, can I scrap it?
it kind of turns, knocks over, things mix, causes it to blow up. And then they have another kind that's different than an actual lab. It's called shake and bake. And you add everything into a 2-liter and shake it.
Okay.
It's kind of sad that I know all these terms, and I didn't learn them recently. I knew all these terms when I was like 10 years old because I moved when I was a teenager. Like, I learned all this stuff way before that. I feel like the country's like cool to grow up in on certain spots, but like if you grow up in the wrong like side of like a country town, like the deadbeat low life town, everybody's off that H and all types of stuff, it can be a dark life for you. I think the best thing that ever happened to me in life was getting out of there. Like at the time I was like, no, I want to be with my friends, but like nah, half of the people I knew from back there are not even on this earth anymore, so I probably wouldn't be either. So I'm just glad I was smart enough to never do that.
What percentage of people in this area you think are into meth? So what got you into it and what got you out of it?
Well, I'm from Kentucky, so for me it was opiates, Oxycontin. It was $2 a milligram, so just one 80 milligram was $160.
Back where I used to grow up, like the big opiate of choice, I don't know if they still make them today, but like the Opanas, dude, I've seen those take down so many people I know, just like gone, obliterated. I'm so glad I never got into any of that. Like, of course, I'll be smoking, but that's about it. I don't even drink alcohol anymore. It's been like 3 years since I've touched a drop of that. We only smoke in the reefer around here, but yeah. I've seen plenty of lives get ruined off of these opiates and glass and you name it. These drugs do not care about you. That's all I gotta say.
It was $2 a milligram, so just one 80 milligram was $160.
How long would that last?
It's crazy.
I mean, I would have to have 4 or 5 a day. So, and
See a Confederate
I was about
flag?
to say, yeah, that's what I was going to point out. You'll see it. You'll see a lot of that covering up a lot of windows.
That's pretty popular here?
Yeah.
Yep, that's how it was in Hickman County too. Everybody flying that thing proud like they don't even know that the South lost. I hate to break it to you.
Where are we right now?
You're just outside of Gadson, Alabama, community code, Sand Valley.
Some of the locals told us that this place is also known as Meth Mountain to some people.
That's Meth Mountain.
That's a crazy
You're a
name.
firefighter, I take it.
Yes.
Is that where a lot of your calls are for meth related?
Or Sentinel Mound.
That's what's crawling through the town?
Yeah.
How recently has that changed?
Within the past 2 years,
How long have you been a firefighter for?
25 years.
Okay, have you ever gone to a call where a meth lab blew up?
Yes.
Tell me a story that comes to mind.
House trailer that had the whole end blowed off of it. Had a female that was burning the place down.
Being a fireman sounds
Yeah.
nice, but I imagine some of the things you have to see are pretty tough for a man to see.
Oh yeah, I have PTSD from it.
What do you think could be
Yeah, I can
done
only
to help
imagine.
the fentanyl and meth crisis that's hitting here, but also hitting so many places in America?
Closed the borders
Why do you think the borders are as open as they are right now?
because the politicians got more worried about their money getting in their pockets than they're about the citizens.
Everyone kind of feels like they're getting by the government right now. Do you feel that?
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. Pays low, prices are going up. Kind of hard to make a living.
Thank you. Have a good day.
We can barely even eat and pay the rent at the same time around here, but we're making it work for now. It's definitely a struggle out here to get groceries you need and then pay rent on top of that, and then the phone bill, Wi-Fi, all this other shit. It all adds up, and before you know it, you broke 2 days after getting paid. But it's the American dream, ain't it?
If we just see people out and about, you think people are pretty open to chatting, or do you think we should be careful?
Be careful.
Yeah?
Be real careful.
And what
Somebody
makes
might
you say
try to
that?
rob
I've been
you.
on calls before and had guns pulled on me.
Even though you're a fireman
Even though-
helping?
Yeah.
Well, I'm wearing my fast shoes today.
Yeah, exactly. Keep them tight.
Thank you.
Especially if they see you with all them cameras out. Yeah, I wouldn't be chancing it. As soon as they see them cameras, their eyes gonna light up with money signs and thinking about buying all that glass they about to blow down. Don't get me wrong, people in the South are super nice, but if you go around these tweaker little cities like that, nah, these little towns are super sketchy.
We're stopping to check out some of the abandoned places here. Bullet holes in the church door.
For the Lord.
I almost think this is a symbol, a greater symbol of like the church falling and the church collapsing and drugs taking over. I think America used to be a much more Christian place, and agree with that stuff or not, it kept people on a certain path in life. And when Nietzsche said God is dead, the question that comes after that is what replaces God.
These drugs, that's what. Who needs God when you're twacked out? No, I'm just playing. I ain't a religious man myself, but you know, it is what it is.
Freestyle rapper.
Oh,
Actually
really?
just got done in my barrels. So, but yeah, this is actually one of the
Spit
most
some,
darkest
boss.
parts in the valley. Right over there on that property, there was a double homicide and a suicide. Ever since then, every time
Golly.
somebody tries to build over there or something goes on, they always leave. Right over here, there used to be rituals and stuff on this road. We call it Party Road, and there used to be actual like demon worshipers that would have rituals and circles, and they blocked the trail off, but there used to be patterns and stuff up there, and you could see all kinds of creepy stuff where they'd done.
It's honestly probably just some teenagers trying to be edgy. Like half the time, satanic people are literally just doing it for the goofs. People like read into that way too much. They let the fear control them. It's like, bruh, probably some people out there playing Dungeons and Dragons and shit.
You could see all kinds of creepy stuff where they'd done rituals.
This seems like a place where kind of just strange things happen.
Yes, all the time. Actually, a red house down the road is about 4 houses down on the left, and they actually worship Satan.
Wait, we're just down the street from
Creepy.
some Satan worshippers?
Yeah, and we love Jesus. We're Jesus worshipers. It's like 4 houses down on the left. If you swing by on Halloween day, they'll be outside all day in these little masks, like dancing and singing and all kinds of.
Yeah, because they're probably messing with y'all because they think y'all are hilarious to mess with. Like whenever I mess with my aunt or something, it's so easy. Like I can literally go like this and she's like, oh, don't do that. It's like, bruh. I swear, they're always overly paranoid.
Kinds of stuff.
Is that blown up meth? Should we stop by it? Yeah. We're going to a meth lab that blew up. We just was driving by and it's here. This is like hills have eyes a little bit, like eyes are on you. Someone's ready with a rifle to shoot you.
They out there creeping in the woods, waiting for you to make one wrong step so they can come get you, boss.
When a meth lab blows up, tell me about what happens and what you've heard about.
Most people are wearing synthetic clothing now. It melts with the skin. You can't pull it off.
So people's
That sounds
clothes melt
terrible.
to them.
Melt to them. They can't get it off. It literally
Sounds
just burns
Freddy
with
Krueger.
the skin.
It sounds horrible.
If we kept driving, we would probably see several other places like this.
All right, folks.
That's like a real fact. I know I've already said it before, but like seriously, if you drive down the road, like every maybe I'm exaggerating or something, but it felt like every 10 houses I would see would be like an exploded meth lab. I know that's an exaggeration, but you know, like at least every other road had one.
All right, folks. We just got invited to a music video, so we're gonna go check it out. You guys are shooting a music video today.
Not today. We're actually just preparing the scenery back here. It's not like, you know, some fancy music thing. This is actually
No,
where
this
he
is some
started
high
out
budget.
rapping and stuff like that.
So what's the idea? What's the concept for this one?
Now during the days, you can catch me at 11 o'clock our time, and I'll be rapping in this barrel, freestyling, and it'll be filled with water, and I'll be dunking in it. If people send a certain gift, I'll dunk it while.
Honestly, I ain't even mad at that. That's like smart, to be real. You got to use your surroundings to your advantage for real. It kind of seems like it would go viral on TikTok or something.
While I'm rapping and come back out of the water still rapping. Sometimes I'll be diving in. It's crazy. Trying to make a music video that's kind of combining that, because this is also the
He
root
out
of
there
where it all
hustling
started.
for real.
And we're gonna try to spice something up. Now I did used to live here in this camper. This is actually his family's property. Right after high school, he actually let me move my camper, and my dad got me onto his property because my family was splitting up.
Is this a tree fort or deer stand?
That's actually for the swing.
Oh wow, you want to do the thing? You want to show them the thing?
Oh God.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I be getting to the money, bitch. I got a bag, I don't got to stress.
Oh, hell no. I'm about to land on his head.
I ain't talking about the hot rod.
Brother, you could join a
Hey,
circus,
he's
huh?
smooth with it for real. He hit that shit and slid. I respect it. We're gonna have to run it back real quick. Watch him slide.
Brother, you could join a circus, huh?
He cold
Yeah.
with it.
Are we in the holler right now?
We're in the valley.
Okay.
We're in
what
the valley.
makes something a holler?
So deep that no matter how loud you holler, nobody's gonna hear you.
You in
I actually
there
used to work at
stuck.
McDonald's when we lived here. Well, we started getting so good on TikTok that really didn't have to work for McDonald's
Damn,
anymore.
he's
And then they
popping.
flew us out to LA and officially hired us. And so now we work full-time TikTok. That's what we do. I'm live streamer.
How is that?
Damn.
It's awesome. It's great. It's been about 4 or 5 months that we've moved out. Me and my bro Wes. And we got our spot right up the mountain.
Hey, that came in
Is
clutch.
it,
with
do
that.
locals
I mean,
realize that?
when I was in like high school, I heard that a lot. I never got into that, and I'm not gonna lie. Before I was 20, I was on a dark path. You know, I grew up without a dad. I didn't meet him until I was 20, and my mom was gone all the time working. Kind of did what I wanted, and I did fall into drugs, but I never did that. It was more like hallucinogens. And then I got
Hey,
saved by a higher power.
I kind of did the same thing. I had some dark times back in the day when I was trying stuff when I was younger, but luckily I got all that shit out when I was super young, and I'm like super thankful for that. Like, I know a lot of people would rather, you know, not do anything until you're over 25 after your brain's developed and all that, but I don't know. I was born dumb anyway, so I'm just glad I got it out of my system at a young age, because I don't know, I've seen way too many people nowadays just going through it, and I don't wish that on nobody, man. But homie out here living it up for real and getting paid off of TikTok and chilling and rapping in a water barrel. That sounds cool to me. I ain't hating on it. I think it's actually pretty cool for real.
You know, I grew up without a dad. I didn't meet him until I was 20, and my mom was gone all the time working.
ain't
Kind of
never
did what I
met my
wanted, and
dad.
I did fall into drugs, but I never did that. It was more like hallucinogens. And then I got saved by a higher power. It wasn't by a man, it wasn't by a book or a church. It was by a higher power. I accepted that. Now I'm living a different life.
Hey man, I respect it. Whatever works for you, homie. If it's getting you by and it's working for you and it's giving you motivation to move forward, I mean, that's all that matters for real. As long as you happy, just keep pushing, man.
What does rent go for around here?
$200 or $300 a month. It really just depends on who
Damn.
you find. If you find,
Cheap as
somebody
hell.
that owns another house and they're willing to let it go for that,
That's
But
crazy cheap. Like, I've never seen a place that I can get for $200 or $300 a
It's
month.
Right.
insane.
So normally what it is people come through with comments and they comment random words, but each person gives me one word. I can throw those into the mix while I'm going. You got
Let's
a
see
word?
what you got real quick.
Okay.
Holler.
Dragon fruit.
Holler.
From my name is CJ, I just hope you understand. I'm trying to make 100 or maybe 1,000 grand. You know I'm about to make it to the top, I understand. I'm about to
Yeah.
make the bank, you know I'm about to
Hey.
stack it for the man. I'm about to grow up, you know I'm really about to show up.
CJ.
They want to take me out the box like I was just Crayola or maybe a crayon, you know
He
they really
cold with
moving
it.
on. I'm painting pictures, illustrating, they thinking they want to yawn. You can find me at West_Smith7. Oh!
Maybe the #1 freestyle on the channel so far.
know about
All the
that last
gangster
part.
rappers we've interviewed that don't want to freestyle for the camera, this guy's got you beat, all right? Are there any parts that we should be exploring
absolutely. Just
Yeah.
follow me. This is the cave.
right next door, huh? All right, so now that we're in a cave and we're getting deep, let me ask you guys a deep question, okay? Do you guys feel represented under Joe Biden?
No.
No. Do you guys feel better with Trump?
Yeah.
Absolutely, no hesitation.
And why?
He's a lot more there in his head. He can ride a bike. He can walk upstairs without falling,
Do you guys feel proud to be Americans?
Yeah, always.
We really are free, man. I was able to quit my job working at McDonald's to become a full-time TikToker. You know what I'm saying?
That sentence right there is hilarious, but honestly, I respect to him. Just that sentence right there is hilarious. I was able to quit my job at McDonald's to become a TikToker. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Honestly, like, if he's making money and paying the bills, that's cool. I mean, I ain't doing nothing different. I'm sitting here recording a video reacting to him, so it's like respect.
You know what I'm saying? Something that I can only imagine of when I was younger. People grow up here and it's like there's nothing to do. You got a lot of people getting getting STDs. That was something that Alabama was known for. And you got a lot of drugs, like you said, that was called Meth Mountain, is because people are so bored that they have nothing else to do. So you find all these crazy things happening.
No, that's real though. Like if they would have built like a skate park or something, at least like down in Hickman County or like somewhere close to there, I swear it would have cut like the problem in half. Or like a rec center where people could go hang out, or just anything, bruh. They had nothing. It was just open fields of just meth. But for real, I've heard that a million times throughout my life. Like when you ask people, it's like, why you do that? And they're like, I ain't got shit else to do. It's like, man, you gotta get a hobby or something. You gotta keep your mind occupied. It's like I make music, I skateboard, I make these videos, I tie-dye. I have like constant things I work on, because if I don't work on something, I want to get depressed and sit around and probably end up doing some stupid shit too. But I still get depressed and stuff, but like it helps out a little bit. I don't know. You know what I mean?
I've heard the same thing in the hoods too, is like the reason things are the way they are is partly just because kids have nothing else to do. How do you solve that?
I was one of those kids, you know. I didn't know my dad until I was 20. My mom was always working, so I was really on the streets doing whatever I wanted to with kids that called themselves my friends, but as soon as I really needed something, they were nowhere to be found, but I was always there for them.
And after a while of that cycle continuing to go on, you get tired of it, and then people are like, oh, you're fake, you don't hit me up no more. It's like, bruh, the only time you ever come around is whenever you need something, or like you're trying to use me, or whenever I have a bunch of people come over. Like the next day, I'm looking for something and it's gone, and nobody wants to confess to it. It's like, I don't like that weird stuff, so I'd rather like stick by myself or just find new people to hang out with. You gotta have your self-respect and boundaries.
Before that tree fell, that blue barrel that you see me in the live, I was way up there on the hill. I was supposed to stop before I came over this hill, but I came over the hill and I dropped right there.
Oh my God.
Do you have a concussion?
Probably.
You said I didn't go to a doctor.
I used to like get out of the house and stuff a lot, and I would run over to this place that used to be friends with my dad. This guy, he had a wife and they had 3 kids.
Sorry about that. I had to let my dog in. It was Willow. Say something. Say something in the mic. She don't like it. Bye.
I used to like get out of the house and stuff a lot, and I would run over to this place that used to be friends with my dad. This guy, he had a wife and they had 3 kids. The woman that he was married to had some kind of relationship with some other guy or whatever. He knew their schedule because he stayed over there all the time. The father would go to work normal hours in the day, you know, like a 9 to 5. The kids would get on a bus, go to school, come back late. The mother worked a night shift. When the kids went to school, when the man went to work, and then the lady was home, he had went in the house, lady, shot her in the head on the bed, her again after she was went back in, fell asleep on the couch. School bus pulls up, kids get home, go inside the trailer. He wakes up, hey, Uncle So-so, what are you doing here? Like, I thought you left, you know, the other day. And I was like, well, where's Mama? Time passes, and the boy, and he went to his mom's bedroom door, and he said when he put his hand on the doorknob, he felt her hand on his shoulder, grab him, and turn him around, and he had a gun in his face and said, go tie your sisters up right now with this duct tape. And he said, no. And then when he said no, he had pistol whipped him in the face, tied him up with duct tape. He said that he woke up from the pistol whip with his sisters right there. By this time, the daddy had gotten home. Said the same thing, Johnny, like, what are you doing here? He had led him back there to the bedroom, and then he put a gun to his back and said, let's go. And he made him open the door. He made him look at his wife, naked and dead. He had him at gunpoint, and they used to play video games all the time when the first shooting games and stuff would come out. The man said to the father, I'm gonna show you how it feels to get shot in real life. He shot him 4 or 5 times in the back. The boy gets out of the duct tape, so he called his grand.
Oh my God. That's the most brutal thing I've heard in a long time. That's like guaranteed PTSD for the rest of your life.
The boy gets out of the duct tape, so he called his grandparents, and his grandparents called 911. He said his sister's free. At that point, they'd SWAT team, news crews, there was a helicopter, because he was still in the trailer.
What happened next isn't allowed on YouTube. Full story on Patreon, link in description. If y'all want to go support this man, seems like he makes pretty good videos, so go check him out, go support him. But yeah, that story was getting a little graphic, so I can kind of see why he cut it off there.
Right here, we can actually walk over here. I'll show you the entrance.
Behind these gates, the most brutal of
Yeah.
We're gonna go to the top of this
Golly.
mountain and see what we find.
All right. Sounds good.
Take it easy.
Sounds terrible.
We explored deep into the folds of Meth Mountain, and we were able to find a man that had first-hand experience in a trailer full of an awful lot of meth. So we sat down and we spoke to him.
What got you started into the world of meth?
Getting off boxing.
So did you have an injury or what started to boxing?
Yeah, I wrecked a motorcycle.
So you got prescribed legal painkillers by your doctor.
No.
You found some from a friend?
That's like one of the only things in that category I ever tried. Like I remember I was in like 8th grade or something, and one of my homies was like, "Here, put this under your tongue. My mom takes these," and it was a Suboxone, and bruh, that was the sickest I've ever been. It was a traumatic experience. I have no idea why he gave me that, but some parts of my childhood were kind of wild. I can't even lie to you.
Do you view meth as beneficial in your life or negative? You
Big
seem like a
time.
normally functioning human. Like the average person, if they were to see you in the street, they might not know.
No, they wouldn't.
How long have you been doing meth for?
9 years.
What was your first hit of meth like?
Really don't know.
Can you sleep when you take meth?
Yeah.
How many times a day do you have to do meth to feel okay?
3 or 4.
And what does a meth habit
Nah.
cost somebody a day?
Maybe 200 a week.
How hard is it to find around
Too
here?
much.
They hard it out.
How much meth is this on the table right now?
Yeah, probably $20 worth. Where's this section?
Can you take meth and 5 minutes later walk into town and no one can tell the difference?
Yeah.
When you first take it, what happens?
Use a little energy
How long could you go without meth before it starts to feel like an issue?
all day. I have to.
Has there ever been a shortage of it?
Where you can't find it? Yeah.
And what was that like?
It was rough, but I still found it.
Can you substitute something else for meth, or does it have to be meth to feel okay?
Sleep.
Are people lacing meth nowadays?
Oh yeah. Fentanyl and whatever the MDM, a few other things.
I'd be afraid to be around anything like that because, dude, fentanyl's literally in everything. I ain't trying to do nothing. Only weed for me.
How do you know that the stuff that you have isn't laced?
I don't. Other than the way it burns.
Better
There's lights
get you a
still turn
test
black.
kit.
Do you get it from a consistent source?
Barely.
When you were the source, did you have people coming in and out of your house all the time?
No. I had a couple, but it wasn't like that.
Do you see a way to get off of it
Lay down for about a week.
and kind of suffer through it?
Yeah. I mean, you don't really hurt. You just crave it a little.
Do you think you can be a productive member of society on meth?
I already am.
For someone like me that has never tried it, would this be enough to kill me?
I feel like you would be surprised at how many like average everyday people that go about their life do drugs. Like there's a lot of functioning addicts out there and you would have no idea.
For someone like me that has never tried it, would this be enough to kill me?
No. But yeah, do that and just snort it.
Oh, you go through your nose.
Yeah.
Can anyone get high off secondhand on this?
I would say so. Somewhat.
I'm gonna drive my car real good back to the hotel.
Hell no.
Are you sober or high now?
I'm always high.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Just on a different substance. The good kind. Just start smoking that bud, man. Get off that glass.
Is there any message you would say to the government or to like how we look at it as a country?
Stop supplying Suboxone and methadone. Just don't do it.
Do you hope to get off it one day?
Oh yeah, I already plan on. I've been slowing down.
And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for joining us on this episode. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, it's a sad life. It's hard to get out of it. Like, I've had all types of people around me go down that life, and I've had people really close to me that aren't here anymore, but it is what it is, and hopefully everybody can find their peace and get to where they need to go eventually, but I don't know. You never really know. It's always a gamble with this type of stuff, but hopefully y'all enjoyed this type of video. If y'all did, let me know in the comments. Share this video with y'all's homies, and I guess I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.